Welcome. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create floating context menus. What I really want here in my point of sale app is to be able to click on the item itself and then to provide multiple choices for the user. So for example, here if they click on coffee, then it will ask them whether they want to edit it. Maybe they, instead of wanted 2, maybe they wanted 3, or to remove it altogether, not just sort of just to remove it from the view. And in general, that's the whole idea of a context menu. The user selects something, but then they can choose from one of multiple actions. All right, so the first thing we have to do here in code is we want to register a context menu. And this is probably the main difference between an options menu and a context menu, even though it's really no big deal. So in onCreate, we're going to go ahead and put in this one line here, and we're going to tell our activity to register the context menu, sort of which widget is going to be listening there. I'm choosing the name text since it's the one that was in the largest font. Okay, so here I am back in main activity. And we'll go up to the top here and down to onCreate, and I'm going to type register for context menu and then my name text. All right, so easy start. The next couple things that are going to happen are going to be very, very similar to options menus, and by now you've had some practice here, so it should go pretty quickly. The first thing is that we need some sort of XML. Right, so I got an example here, and this one right here, as we can see, is going to give us let's see, so 2 items in it. All right, so one for editing, one for removing. Each one has an icon if we wanted, and pretty straightforward, right? So they have some strings and some names that we've already set up. You can add these if they're not already in your strings.xml. All right, but feel free just to copy these for now. All right, so I've got them on my clipboard, and I'm going to go to layout, down to menu, and I'm going to make a new resource file. And the first one was called menu main. This one right here is going to be menu. Maybe what I want to call it is context main.xml, and click OK, and then I can replace the whole file. All right, pretty straightforward. All right, then we need to inflate it in code. So back over here, I'm going to need a method to do that. So sort of above the onCreate options menu, I'm going to see onCreate context menu. And here we're just going to just basically create it. So what do I want? I want a menu inflator. So I will get a menu inflator like I've done before. And then I can do inflate, and it's asking for a menu resource. So here I'm going to pass in the one that I just created. So r.menu context main, and then I need a menu itself. So I'll pass in that menu right there. All right, so let's check back on the slides. And we'll see that's exactly what we did here. We did the get menu inflator, we called .inflate on it, and we passed in a resource ID and then the menu. And if we're going to compare that with what we had done in our options menu, we'll see that that's actually really no different. This line and this line right here are pretty much the same thing. So how do we respond? So say we have an edit option right now. So what if they click it? All right, what do we want to do? So basically it's pretty straightforward. We just want to launch a dialog to edit the current item, right? And if we look at what you would want to do to edit, well, you'd want to allow them to change the name and change the quantity and change the date. And you realize that this is really the same thing as the add dialog, right? There's almost no difference. The only thing that you want to do is to pre-populate these widgets with whatever's currently there, right? So I'd suggest that we do a little refactor to our code here. So we could take our add item dialog and we could modify it so that it can do add or edit. And then we could pass in a Boolean that would tell us which we're going to be doing. All right. So let's go ahead and try that out. All right. So what I'm going to do is jump down to to add item, and then we'll go ahead and change this to add edit item. I'll pass in Boolean here is editing perhaps. And let's see what we can reuse. It should be really most everything. So I still have a builder, and I still have a view, and I'm capturing my text here. Oh, wait a minute. So I have the text, so let's go ahead and populate it right here. So I can say that if I'm in editing mode, all right, that what I want to do is take my name edit text, and I want to set its text to be what, right? To be, well, the current items name. Oh, that's pretty easy. All right, so let's do the same thing for the other two. And what I'm realizing here is that I need a string for this guy to put it in my edit text. So I'll do that. And then my delivery date view, I want to set its so delivery date view asks for a date here. So let's see if we have something like that. So my current item, there's a get delivery date string, and then there's also a get delivery date time. Which one do I want? Well, set date is requiring us to pass in along. And I realized that ahead of time when I built the model object, so I put in an accessor for that. So that should be what we need, and it should work fine when we ask it to. All right, so how are we going to call this? So I'm going to jump back up to my on, well, actually we don't have one yet, do we? We have an on options item selected, but we don't have anything for the context menu. So let's go ahead and override that. So we have an on context item selected, right? And this is going to be for a specific item. And we can really set this up very similar, again, just like the other one. So I'm going to be switching. So let's do a switch on the item. Get should be get item ID, excuse me. Right. And we're going to have two cases here. So I'm going to have a case for, let's see, so r.id. What did we call this here? Menu context edit. Right. And what do we do for that guy? Right. So I want to call add edit item, and in this case, I definitely want to be I want to pass in true. That's what I'm doing, and I can just return true right here since I've handled the context item click. The other one is, let's see, so menu context remove, and this one I just want to remove it all together. So let's see, my items, let's see, dot remove, and I want to remove the current item, like so. Right. I probably want to do a couple other things here. So I want to get a new current item. Right. So let's go ahead and create one there. And let's call show again to fix that guy. Return true. What else do we got? I think I need to do one more thing to handle this refactoring here. Since we made the function to take the Boolean, let's go back up to where we originally added things. And now we have to have that call add edit item. And if we're just adding it, we're going to pass in false because there's nothing to pre-populate. Let's try it out. All right, so I have the emulator up and running. I've added in coffee and donuts as we got here. Let's just check this out. All right, so let's go back to coffee. So coffee 2, let's long press on the name, and we get our context menu, which is exciting. Let's go ahead and click on this guy, and we'll change the quantity here to 3. So you'll notice that it came up with coffee. It gave me a quantity of 2. It gave me the date. So all good stuff here. So it's pre-populating just fine. Click OK. And now we have 3 coffees. So looking good. Let's go ahead and maybe delete donuts. We'll try that out. Coffee. Mistake right here. Looks like it added in an extra coffee. So let's see what's going on there. So back inside my add edit item, here's my pre-populating. So what happens if I'm editing? Check down here inside my on-click. So I go ahead and grab the new name, quantity, and delivery date. Make a new item. Oh, but then I'm adding it back to the array list. Not exactly what I want. So I think what I need is a separate case here. So if I'm editing, what I want to do is take my current item and I want to mutate it. So I want to set its name to be the name edit text. Let's see, get text to string. Right. And let's see, so things that I did before in the constructor, actually it looks like I already pulled that out. So let's try this one more time. Yeah, that's right. We had the name right here, right? So we just want to call set on it. And same thing for set quantity. I'll let you do the last two here. So we want to set that to the latest quantity. And then the, let's see, so the current items delivery date, which takes a date object. And we have a long here, so let's go ahead and make a date out of that delivery date. And again, very similar to what I had done in the constructor before. All right, so that's if I'm editing. Otherwise, then I can do what I was doing before, which was create a new one and add it. And in either case, I want to show the item. So we'll check this out in the emulator right now, see how that works. All right, so I just want to check to make sure that I can add things. So I got a fresh one here. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, I'm on this coffee and donut kick here. So let's make a coffee and donuts. So coffee 2, let's go ahead and edit this guy right now. So I'm going to long press on it and do an edit. Pre-populates, let's change this to 15. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. 15 coffees. Let's make sure that that edited. So we just do have one coffee right here, and that's the one with 15. Let's go ahead and add some donuts. And we're buying, obviously, if we have 15 copies, we're buying for a lot of people here. So let's 4 dozen donuts. Crazy number of donuts here. But let's go ahead and delete things. Way too much coffee for us. So let's go ahead and click on, do a long press on coffee. All right. Let's see. So I guess that was selecting it, excuse me. So let's do a long press here. And let's do a remove of coffee. And it goes back to nothing. And let's make sure that that's correct. Coffee's done, gone here. So exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's go back to our slides and kind of wrap up this lesson. So let's see. So this whole idea, basically what we did was we made this context menu item, and we talked about how it responds, either by adding or editing one, or then just going ahead and removing from the list. And the code for what we had done for pre-populating really fits into 2 cases. So one is go ahead and add this Boolean in here, and when we add the Boolean, then we can check if we want to pre-populate information within this guy, within our edit text. And then the second thing, of course, was the mutation that I forgot at first there, which is if we're editing, then go ahead and we just mutate the current item rather than adding another one. So that's all we have for you for this lesson. Come back for the lab next time.